Et salut à tous, on est reparti pour Inazuma. Alors j'avais dit que la dernière fois on ferait la troisième personne, mais je me suis souvenu entre temps que Germaine nous avait demandé de remettre une lettre à ce monsieur. Du coup, on va peut-être lui filer la lettre. Sympa. Allez go. Vous êtes le voyageur venu de loin. Que puis-je faire pour vous? À propos de la lettre d'Iraji Shizato. Cette lettre, mademoiselle Iraji vous a vraiment demandé de me la remettre. Cette écriture, c'est bien elle. Dieu merci. Merci d'être venu, voyageur. Quant au laisser-passer, comme il s'agit du demande personnel de mademoiselle Iraji, je vais naturellement m'en occuper. Cependant, j'ai besoin d'un peu de temps. Que pensez-vous d'aller m'attendre au restaurant Kiminami d'abord? D'accord? Pourquoi voulez-vous aller là-bas? Eh bien, j'ai besoin de vous demander une petite faveur. Ah non. Ah non. Oh non. Je pensais également envoyer quelque chose à mademoiselle Iraji. C'est la love story qui va durer 1000 ans. J'ai écrit une lettre et j'ai également demandé à mademoiselle Kiminami de me préparer quelques friandises. J'avais l'intention de les envoyer ensemble à mademoiselle Iraji en tant que cadeau. Mais si mon père découvrait mes plans, il serait contrarié. J'étais justement en train de réfléchir à comment faire quand vous êtes arrivé. Ça, c'est pratique, ça. Père il, il doit naturellement être strict. Je comprends pourquoi il ne veut pas que je communique avec mademoiselle Iraji. Après tout, je suis un membre du clan Kujon, et l'un des responsables de la commission administrative. La fameuse commission administrative. Partout. Alors que mademoiselle Iraji fait partie du clan Hiraji de la commission économique. Si je me rapproche trop d'elle, quelqu'un pourrait essayer de profiter de la situation. Même s'il ne s'agit que d'un cadeau aux yeux de certaines personnes, c'est bien plus que cela. Ne, ne parlons pas de ces questions triviales. Voyageurs, veuillez m'attendre au restaurant Kiminami. Putain, il y a une fois où je vais réussir à le dire correctement, je vous jure. Je vous y apporterai la laissez-passer quand il aura été approuvé. Oui, le laissez-passer A38. C'est donc cette quête. Allez, let's go. On va se faire un petit resto. Ça tombe bien. Il y a que dans les jeux maintenant, on peut faire des restos. Quand on n'est pas vacciné, bien sûr. En même temps, quand vous avez moins de 30 ans, que vous n'êtes pas obèse avec des problèmes cardiaques. Pas forcément vacciné. Allez. Oui. Je pense qu'il faut que je parle. Bienvenue. À propos des friandises. Ah, j'ai déjà préparé les friandises que maître Kimaji a commandées. Je vous les apporte tout de suite. Et je suis curieuse de savoir à qui maître Kimaji va les offrir. Ce n'est rien de plus qu'un geste de relation diplomatique, mademoiselle Kiminami. Il y a quelque temps, monsieur Hiraji Shinsuke a offert à mon père un lot de thé de qualité. Mon père est au courant que la fille adorée de monsieur Hiraji, Shizato, aime les friandises. Il a donc demandé d'en préparer quelques-unes comme cadeau en retour. Je craignais que la livraison ne prenne trop de temps et qu'il y ait des chocs inévitables pendant le voyage. J'ai donc spécifiquement demandé à ce voyageur de livrer ses marchandises. Mademoiselle Kiminami, puis jeter un œil aux friandises, s'il vous plaît. Je veux m'assurer que je n'ai rien oublié. Bien sûr. Voici les friandises. Vérifiez vous-même. Merci, mademoiselle Kiminami. Tout est là. Alors, s'il voyageur, j'ai d'autres choses à vous dire. Voici le laissez-passer. Prenez-le. Oui, enfin! Avec ce laissez-passer, vous pouvez entrer et sortir librement de Ritu. Yes! Merci. De rien. Le laissez-passer vous permettra de livrer les friandises. Oh! Et aussi cette lettre. C'est vous qui avez écrit cette lettre? Vous savez écrire? Beaucoup. Oui, j'ai essayé d'écrire cette lettre avec tact. J'espère que mademoiselle Hiraji ne sera pas offensée. Veuillez remettre cette lettre et les friandises à mademoiselle Hiraji, s'il vous plaît. Elle va encore y retourner. Mais cette fois-ci, vous avez le laisser-passer. Vous devriez avoir beaucoup plus de liberté. Alors je compte sur vous, voyageur. Pouvoir rentrer pour m'occuper des affaires officielles. Ah, quand pourrais-je lui rendre visite personnellement? Oh là là. Oh là là. Non mais maintenant que j'ai le laissé passer, peut-être que je peux faire autre chose. Après tout, j'ai envie de dire, il a attendu 1000 ans pour sa lettre, elle attendra pareil. Allons voir la troisième personne. Faut pas déconner, il a pas marqué la poste.
The third person who had their vision taken is supposed to be a famous sword master around these parts. Hyman heard that he's the present-day master of Meikyo Shisui art. Sounds pretty impressive. This is his dojo. Luckily, there's some people around. Let's go talk to them.
Nanako, don't worry. Sensei will be fine. Those thugs that challenged the dojo were strong, but he fought them all off in the end, didn't he?
Maybe, but I'm still worried about him. Things have gotten dangerous before in the past, but it's never shaken him. This time, though...
It's just because he's been possessed, that's all. Once the exorcism has taken place, he'll be right as rain in no time.
Hey there! Did something happen?
Who are you? I don't care whether you're trespassers or just here to harass us while Sensei is impaired. Get out of here immediately! Don't make me draw my blade, or you won't live to regret it.
No! You got it so wrong. We just came here to...
On est là pour devenir des disciples.
Disciples?
Yep. We've heard all about the mighty master of Meikyo Shisui art. It's the whole reason we came all this way, to seek him out and ask him to train us. But then we got here and overheard you talking about how he got possessed or something?
From the way you're dressed, it doesn't look like you're from around here. Please, accept my apologies. We've had so many people trying to cause us trouble recently that we're on high alert. You haven't arrived at the best of times, I'm afraid. Sensei got possessed recently, and he's still recovering. He's not able to take on any new disciples for the time being.
Peut-être pas l'agresser tout de suite. Faut attendre qu'il se
I see
rétablisse.
you are earnest in your pursuit. Okay, how about this? My fellow disciple Nanako and I will explain Sensei's situation to you in a little more detail. Then you can decide whether to stay or to leave. Sensei's name is Domon, a name I'm sure you've already heard. Though self-taught, he mastered the art of the sword to a high level. He then proceeded to defeat many other prominent sword masters, never losing a single fight. He once said that his goal was to become the best sword master in the world. And so, even while training us, he continued to hone his own art. His fervor truly inspired us, and we trained hard, determined to keep up with him. But then...
Not long ago, Sensei had his vision taken away. He hasn't been the same since. He says the strangest things over and over, and he refuses to let us train. Junya and I have discussed it, and we both think that he's been possessed by an evil spirit. So, we've asked the shrine maidens from the Grand Narukami Shrine to perform an exorcism. But if I'm honest, I still have my doubts over whether he'll completely recover.
The Grand Narukami Shrine? What's that?
You haven't heard of it? It's the largest shrine on Narukami Island. The head shrine maiden is reputed to have very close ties with the almighty Shogun herself. Not that we'd have any means of involving the head shrine maiden, of course. But even one of the ordinary shrine maidens from the Grand Narukami Shrine would have clear power and authority to perform an exorcism. So don't worry, Nanako. Sensei is going to be just fine. The exorcism will take place this evening. You're both more than welcome to come and watch if you're interested.
So, losing your vision can cause possession? Guess we should come back this evening and see for ourselves.
Ah non mais j'étais le soir. Oh. Bon. On va attendre. Et elle des fans à l'avant-première. J'attendrai. Debout. Dans le froid. Toudoum. Hey, on est là.
Shh. So you decided to come. It's a good thing you didn't arrive any earlier. You would have had to witness Sensei in one of his fits of madness. Just now, when Nanako was attending to him, she heard him whispering a few names to himself. When she asked him who the people were, he suddenly looked panic-stricken and pushed her away. It looked like he was in great distress. He was covering his ears and looking frantically around him with bloodshot eyes. All the while he kept calling those names. Some of them we knew, others we didn't recognize. But they all seemed to be the names of sword masters he had defeated in the past. One of them was Anzai. He used to be a fellow disciple of Sensei's, his senior, in fact. But Sensei defeated him in a duel many years ago, and he has been a wanderer ever since. Sensei wouldn't stop calling his name. Thankfully, the shrine maidens managed to subdue him, so the exorcism can finally continue. The ritual has now begun. All we can do is patiently await the result. Here's hoping Sensei will be back to his normal self very soon. Please, excuse me for a moment while I fetch some water. If he wakes up, he is sure to be thirsty.
Huh? Who's that sneaking around? Uh-oh. Could they be here to mess up the exorcism? We won't let them get away with it. Come on, let's go after them.
Ouais. Allons taper le vieux. Parce qu'on le sait tous, les vieux, c'est mystérieux.
Seems they aren't here. Should we keep going further up?
Bah oui, il y a un truc là. C'est moi. Where are you?
Is this definitely the right place? Let's look a little further up.
Where are you? Moi j'ai ramassé le truc ou pas ça?
Aha! Suspicious person sighted! That's gotta be him!
Le vieux. Ah!
How did you catch up with me so quickly?
C'est juste vieux. Hein.
Are you sure you're Domon's disciples? You move even quicker than he does. Unless... I guess it's been a few years. Maybe his skills have improved again.
Excuse me? We're the ones asking the questions here. First off, who are you? And what are you doing sneaking around these parts? You seem like bad news, mister.
Bad news? I'll have you know I trained side by side with Domon back in the day, long before you ever showed up. I don't care to talk about that time anymore. But if you must know, I am Domon's senior.
His senior? Wait, That means you must be...
Anzai? Yes, that's me.
Vous êtes en chien.
Because I don't wish to see Domon or anyone else associated with him ever again. When we were young, we trained under the same swordmaster, studying Meikyo Shui art together. I had begun training 5 years before him, and everyone looked up to me as a steady and dependable older disciple. Practitioners of Meikyo Shui art seek to achieve stillness of mind, freedom from all agitation. So the majority of disciples are indifferent to rank and reward. I was no exception. But Domon was different. The first thing he did when he joined was go straight to our sensei and ask him, with a beaming smile on his face, how to become the best in the world. Sensei scolded him and told him that the art of the sword should not be used for such vain ends. Sensei said that coveting the title of the best swordmaster, barely days into his training, showed that he had a fickle mind, and that this would impede him from ever mastering the blade. I thought so too at the time, but Domon began making swift progress in his training, and even started catching up with me. Only then did I realize that it was Domon who had long since freed his mind from all agitation. He was consumed by his singular desire to become the best in the world. He sought nothing less than perfection in the art of the sword, and nothing could deter him from this goal, no matter what stood in his way.
Sure sounds like he meant business. So how come you don't want to ever see him again?
Because until he arrived, I was convinced that I would succeed our sensei as the master of Meikyo Shui art. Of all the disciples, I was the most gifted. I had trained the longest. Everyone had high expectations from me. Domon's arrival changed everything. When we sparred, I lost not just the match, but my pride and my status too. I fled the dojo that day and never looked back. Later, I heard that he sparred with Sensei too. Sensei was advanced in years by then, and unfortunately that match used up every last ounce of energy in his body. After that, I wanted nothing further to do with him. Deep down, though, I still respected his mastery of the blade and his commitment to the art of the sword. So, when I heard rumors that he had lost his mind, my first reaction was to dismiss them as false. How could he, of all people, have lost his mind? His mind was the sharpest of them all. He had practiced Meikyo Shui art to perfection. I decided to quietly come and see if it were true. Then, to my complete astonishment, I heard him call my name. I thought mine was a name he had long since forgotten. So you see, I came here not to cause him any harm. I just wanted to see for myself. Okay, you've heard my story. You should get back now. The exorcism is probably finishing.
Seems like we got it wrong this time. He wasn't here to mess up the exorcism at all. Still, Paimon's not sure we should bring him back with us. Let's go see how the exorcism's coming along.
Ah oui, moi je veux voir l'exorcisme. Hein. Je sais pas si t'as ça, les fantômes, tout ça.
I could get used to this.
Les démons. Pas fini, hein. Dites-moi que c'est pas fini. Oh, bah.
You're saying he isn't possessed?
Mais
Does that mean he's just lost his mind? But how is that possible? No, I refuse to believe it. Something's clearly wrong.
Nanako, please. Try not to get agitated.
I am sorry. With what powers I have, I can find no sign of any malignant spirit having possessed Domon. But spirits may take a myriad of forms in this world, many of which I cannot claim to have witnessed myself. Thus, I dare not rule out possession with complete certainty. And all is certainly not lost, for I received word not long ago that Lady Yai has taken an interest in your sensei's case.
Lady Yai? Is that the same Lady Yai that I think you mean?
The head shrine maiden of the Grand Narukami Shrine? That's wonderful news. Then Sensei will be sure to recover.
Correct. Lady Yai is most knowledgeable indeed, and has abundant experience in the exorcism of evil spirits and aversion of great calamities. I am unable to say for certain whether an evil spirit has possessed your sensei, but Lady Yai can give a conclusive verdict.
Excuse me, Miss Inagi, but I must ask, should we prepare a greeting gift for Lady Ai?
That won't be necessary. All that is required of you is your timely arrival at the Grand Narukami Shrine. Lady Yai does not like to be kept waiting. I must leave now, but we will meet soon at the shrine. I wish Domon a full and speedy recovery.
Who'd have thought Lady Yai herself would have taken notice of our sensei's case?
Do you mean to say that Sensei isn't renowned enough to deserve Lady Yai's attention?
No, that's not what I meant at all. You misunderstand me. I just mean this is Lady Yai, the head shrine maiden. She has direct and close contact with the almighty Shogun herself. Anyway, you should join us too, tomorrow. Given that you've traveled all this way just to meet our sensei, we, the disciples of Meikyo Shisui Art, will do our best to help you.
Ravi de me rejoindre à vous, évidemment.
Sure. After all, everyone seems pretty excited about Lady Yai. We're curious to meet her too. Who knows? Maybe we'll be able to find out a thing or two about the Raiden children from her.
Sanctuaire. Ah, enfin. Je sais pas qu'est-ce qui est le plus rapide. Je vais passer par là. Alors bien sûr, j'ai mis les voix en anglais.
No time to
Certains
lose.
pourraient penser que c'est une hérésie. Mais bon, je préfère honnêtement suivre quelque chose dans une langue que je comprenne un minimum. Ou dans une langue. Et même pas les bases. Rien. Et puis le doublage anglais est plutôt pas mal. Hein. Honnêtement, moi je le trouve plutôt quali. Truc au milieu. Le mont You. Non madame.
Insolence shall be punished.
Suivante, miroir des fatouilles. Une suivante fatouille utilise un miroir d'eau pour se battre. Lorsqu'elle vous touche avec certaines de ses compétences, la suivante vous marque d'un éclat de miroir d'eau. Si un personnage marqué se trouve à proximité, elle entre en état de polarisation, la rendant plus puissante. D'accord. Bon, on sait que vous êtes là.
Yep.
Alors ça par contre, non. Non. Putain. Il m'énerve quand il fait ça. Ça, c'est le syndrome des jeux où on peut grimper. Zelda, c'était pareil. Assassin's Creed, c'est... Assassin's Creed, c'est autre chose. Assassin's Creed, c'est un peu... avec le cul, des fois, le grimpage. Je sais pas s'il y a un petit truc à faire avec les petits renards électro là. Je pense que oui. Un truc à faire avec tout. Je suppose que les petits renards électro en font partie. Ah, je vais être... Non, c'est bon. Dans la petite corniche là. Oh. Pose ici. Il va y avoir un chemin, hein. Il va y avoir un chemin ou un truc plus pratique, mais moi j'escalade. Et je me prends des armes aussi. La petite corniche là. Aïe. Oh là là. La corniche là, la corniche.
Freeze!
Ah mais j'ai pas remis les... Merde. T'es pas sur la bonne équipe. Tac.
Life goes on.
C'est pour ça que ça n'a pas marché. J'étais pas sur la bonne équipe. On y va doucement. On peut admirer à la vue, oui. Ouais, on peut admirer à la vue. Alors je sais pas si l'île là-bas on peut y aller ou pas encore. Celle-là je pense que oui, l'autre aussi. Par contre, ces deux-là, elles ont l'air trop brumeuses pour être accessibles. Putain, il y a long encore. Allez, allez. Can do it. Réussi. Alors. Continue de monter. Bonjour. Visiblement, on pouvait passer par là. Ça va être relou à monter. Bon, on va aller voir. Hop.
Do you think that's Lady Ai? Oh, no wonder Junya was so excited. She has a really striking presence. Also, is it just Paimon? Or did she look right at us just now? It was probably nothing. It's not like she's ever seen us before.
Keep away. Keep away from me. I gave up the art of the sword. Please, let me go, I beg you.
As you can see, Lady Yai, Domon has persisted in this state for some time now. He appears to see those who have lost to him in duels past, gathered all around him to persecute him.
Lady Yai, it must be a possession, right? This is nothing like him at all. In the past, no matter what came his way, he would always face it with a confident smile.
I'm sorry. It is clear to me that your sensei is not possessed by any evil spirit.
But then does that mean he...
Yes. This is a change in the person himself. Unable to cope with the tremendous pressure he was under, he suffered a spiritual collapse. With his wits impaired, he finally descended into madness. As one who is thrown into the sea, though he fights back desperately against his predicament, it does nothing to prevent his descent into the depths. As for what has triggered this change, I believe it must be the loss of his vision. For to be stripped of one's vision is to be stripped of one's ambition.
Stripped of his ambition? But Lady Yai, even without his ambition, why should he suffer such a dramatic change? How does that explain his descent into madness?
Your school practices Meikyo Shisui art, does it not? Stillness of mind, freedom from all agitation. What a fine notion that would be if any in this world could ever hope to achieve it. There was once one who claimed to be indifferent to rank and reward, and who fled enraged when defeated by his junior. And then there was an aged swordmaster who was aggrieved enough that he crossed blades with a disciple he himself had taught. Then, what of the one who crossed blades with his own sensei and beloved fellow disciple, and defeated them both? Can one truly remain unagitated, of still mind in moments such as these?
Lady Yai, I'm not sure I understand.
The path of the swordmaster is filled with twists and turns. It is no small undertaking to pursue the position of greatest swordmaster in the world. It requires one to take their sword firmly in both hands and cut down the hopes and dreams of others. even those of one's closest companions. Only a deep commitment to his ambition to become the best made it possible for him to rise above the pain of these encounters, to focus on the way ahead. When that ambition disappeared, he began to doubt himself. As he battled his growing anxiety, he slowly descended into the state you see him in now. Much like a certain fatally flawed friend of mine.
Poor Sensei. To think he's been suffering so greatly.
I'm sorry. It's all my fault. Father, Sensei, Anzai.
That's enough.
Huh? Isn't that Anzai? Where did he come from? Did he follow us the whole way here?
Anzai, why are there two of you? Is that you or a ghost? You're here for revenge, aren't you? I knew it would come. I never should have.
You're right to assume that my feelings towards you are far from kindly. But I didn't come here to settle a score. It's been so long now that I made peace with it years ago. You did nothing wrong that day. I couldn't face the humiliation. That's why I ran. I don't think most of the people you beat along the way would hold it against you. On the contrary, when you cut our ambitions short, we entrusted them to you, in the hopes that they might carry you further. Now I know that we can't place our hopes in you any longer, since you've been stripped of your ambitions too. But that is no reason to strip them of theirs. Follow the way of the sword all the way to the highest peak. You taught them that, didn't you?
But what if one day, the same thing happens to them? I put everything I had into trying to become the best. But what if it was all a huge mistake right from the start? If there's a chance they'll end up like me one day, I'd rather they stay where they are now than go any further down this path.
Have you asked them what they think?
Sensei, after you rescued me from the hands of the pirates, I told myself I would follow in your footsteps for the rest of my days. I can't know whether I will suffer in my future as you do now. All I know is that here and now, in the present, I wish to continue. I want to keep going until the day that I can stand before everyone with my head held high and announce that I, like my sensei Domon before me, am a master of Meikyo Shisui art.
Nanako's far from the only one. Actually, all of us think that way.
Goodness. Well,
You see? You can place the ambition you once had in their hands. Being stripped of your ambition is something that's never happened to me, so I can't claim to understand it. But I do know what it feels like to have your ambitions crushed. That's what happened on the day that you so effortlessly defeated me. So, just as I once placed my ambitions onto you, it is time for you to release yours into their custody. You are not in the same position that I was. When I left, I had nothing to my name. But you have a great number of worthy disciples.
I understand. I'm sorry to have made you worry for me, and for the state of Meikyo Shisui art. I no longer have the resolve to become the best in the world. The emptiness and suffering inside of me will not abate, so I cannot hope to still my mind and be free of agitation. But as your sensei, I shall commit to imparting unto you everything I have learned in my life so far. This is my promise. And I humbly ask Anzai, my senior, to hold me to my word.
You can count on that. I'd be checking in on you occasionally anyway, just to make sure you hadn't lost your mind again. But I am now used to the life of a wanderer. I do not belong in the dojo anymore, so I will simply stop by once in a while to make sure you aren't cutting any corners with them. Well, don't just stand there staring at me. Say thank you to Lady Yai and then get yourself back home.
So even though his ambition was taken away, his disciples can take it over on his behalf. Guess that sort of solves this one, huh?
Ouais, c'est le mieux qu'on pouvait espérer.
Traveler, a moment, please. Lady Yai has some words for you.
So, my intuition was correct. The wind that blows from afar carries fresh life to these shores. For us to meet now is premature. Nevertheless, you set foot on these islands at precisely the right moment. I have high hopes for you, child. Don't disappoint me.
Ooh, Lady Yai seems to have taken a real interest in you. She seems super mysterious. Paimon's so curious what she really meant by all that. We can come back to it another time. For now, we should go report back to Miss Kamisato.
Pantalon. Ouais. Quand même. Ça devrait aller, non? Mathilde. Ah, c'est mon amant, il est maintenant dans l'armée de Tarazuna. Je lui ai écrit quelques lettres pour lui demander s'il allait bien, mais pour une raison quelconque, elles sont toutes parties en fumée sans réponse. Je n'avais pas d'autre choix que de venir ici et de prier pour lui, en espérant que les dieux le protègent. Bonne chance. C'est gentil, merci. Tu sembles être un voyageur expérimenté. Je te donne cette amulette. Elle te protégera dans tes voyages à venir. Je peux revoir mon amant. Je préparerai une autre pour lui. Gentil ça, amulette. Alors, le cerisier sacré. Très joli. De toute façon, le jeu est beau d'une manière générale. Saut électro. Hein? Au niveau 3. Sacré. Lorsque le personnage déployé est de type électro et que son énergie élémentaire est inférieure ou égale à 50. L'électrogranum régénère lentement l'énergie. Pas compris. Ah, vous devez avoir un sens. Comment? C'est dégueulasse. Putain, il y en a combien? 50. Tout ça, c'est avec des sauts électro? Donnez les sauts électro que vous avez collectés au cours de votre aventure, enfin. J'ai pas d'électrogranum. Terre avec l'électrogranum. J'en ai pas. Retournez voir Dame Cathy Château. Cathy Château, badabon. Cathy Château, badabon. Peut-être enfin voir la tête qu'elle a. En effet.
Oh, Ayaka! Guess who fulfilled all your wishes? Huh? Ayaka! Huh?
Traveler, Paimon, it is a pleasure to finally meet you both face to face.
Ils ont fait une cinématique, quoi. Non.
I have heard all about how you helped our three friends. My sincerest thanks to you.
Les dégâts causés par la perte d'un œil divin ne peuvent totalement réparer.
Yeah. Short of getting them their visions back, it seems like there's no way to really help them. Ayaka, how come this time you get to come out and meet us in person?
Because now that you have done the three things I asked of you, I consider you to be my friends. As you will observe, I dispense with the screen for Toma also.
Wait a second. But isn't Toma your... servant? Paimon's happy to help and all, but Paimon sure as heck did not sign up to be a servant.
Oh. Paimon, you are most entertaining. Toma is first and foremost my friend, and was so before he ever became my attendant.
Oh, okay then. Ayaka, you seem pretty different out in the open compared to how you are behind the screen. Alright, we can be friends.
Demande d'amis acceptée.
Thank you both kindly. Back to the matter at hand. You have now witnessed the pain of those deprived of their visions. What are your feelings on what you have seen?
Elle a l'air d'être pire que la mort.
Perhaps in the eyes of a deity such as the almighty Shogun, the lives of those who inhabit the world are inconsequential. Thunders roar, lightnings flash, the winds assault, and the rains descent. All these things take place with no regard for the feelings of the common people. But I believe that surely you understand what they must endure. It seems that perhaps now you can appreciate my feelings on all of this. In which case, perhaps you would be willing to reconsider your stance?
Je vais vous aider à combattre le décret de saisine.
You will? Really?
Vous devez tenir la promesse que vous faites.
Naturally.
All right, bravo, my lady. You were right all along.
See? I told you he wouldn't reject them. I'd placed my trust in the right person after all. Now then, given that the remainder of our discussion pertains to matters of a more confidential nature, perhaps we could move to the Komori Tea House? We ought not to involve other members of the Yashiro Commission.
Well, here we are again.
Please continue without me. I'll keep watch.
So, what's the deal with this place anyway? What makes it your favorite meeting spot?
This is land that was gifted to the Yashiro Commission by the Shogun. The Kamisato clan has the exclusive right to plan, build, and repair any property on this land, and even to allow or deny access. Such privileges exist due to the Yashiro Commission's role in managing ceremonial affairs. Oftentimes, it is not appropriate to discuss details in front of bystanders.
Oh, Paimon gets it. Gotta keep a bit of mystery, right?
Once the number of ceremonial affairs conducted in the city began to decline, our forebears built a tea house here. Only members of the Yashiro Commission are permitted to come and go as they please.
Makes sense. Perfect place for a secret base.
In any case, we can talk freely here. I presume you have a few questions that you wish to ask me?
En effet, oui. Quel genre de divinité la Shogun
The
Raiden?
almighty Shogun. I've seen her on but only a few occasions, most of them formal ceremonies. She inspires awe, commands respect, and exudes a sense of absolute authority. But as I recall, there was something else about her that struck me even more deeply. It was her almost complete lack of any emotion. In that sense, she appeared to me to be less of a ruler and more of, well, an executive official, I suppose. Focused exclusively on her single goal of implementing eternity, acting accordingly without feeling.
Personne d'autre ne combat le décret.
The issue is this. For the vast majority of people, the Vision Hunt Decree is something that has no implications whatsoever. After all, it is but a tiny minority of people who receive visions. Moreover, it is not unknown for visions to spark jealousy in others. Because of this, the attitude of most people towards the Vision Hunt Decree is one of indifference.
How can they be like that? Paimon's getting mad.
Nevertheless, in addition to us, there is also the resistance on Watatsumi Island.
Resistance? You mean like an army fighting against the decree?
Yes. Many who have lost or fear losing their visions have rallied together under Sangonomiya on Watatsumi Island to form a resistance group. To say a little more about Sangonomiya, Historically, there has always been some conflict between them and the shogunate of Narukami Island due to their different belief systems. But I do wonder whether there may be some other agenda behind their resistance movement, beyond merely fighting the Vision Hunt decree.
Vous êtes-vous formellement opposé au décret de saisie?
Of course. We have tried on numerous occasions. Unfortunately, each time a proposal to repeal the decree arrives at Tenshukaku, it is promptly vetoed by both the Tenryou Commission and the Kanjo Commission, and subsequently scrapped. They invariably adopt a stance of unconditional support for the Shogun's decisions. They have no interest in discussing anything. It almost makes one wonder whether they had a hand in the Shogun's sudden decision to issue the Vision Hunt decree.
Et pas d'autres questions.
Ooh, Paimon has a question though.
Oh? What would you like to know, Paimon?
Have you got a plan yet to fight the Vision Hunt decree?
To be honest, we do not.
What?
Please, do not forget that challenging the Vision Hunt decree is tantamount to challenging a deity. Coming to terms with that is already a difficult step to take.
So what are we gonna do?
Well, for the moment, all we can do is try and reduce the harm that is being caused by this decree. For example, by providing vision bearers with safe refuge, or manufacturing counterfeit visions for them as a contingency measure.
You're telling Paimon that there are people out there who can make fake visions?
Don't underestimate the talents of the craftspeople in Hanamizaka. To the naked eye, their counterfeits are indistinguishable from the genuine article.
Forcément. Ça se comprend. On va être là où Venti est
The
allé.
problem we are facing right now is that Master Masakatsu, who was providing us with counterfeit visions, has recently been arrested by the Tenryou Commission.
Darn! So they found out about it? Ugh.
Yes. We knew it was not a long-term solution, and that it was only a matter of time before it would be exposed. But we cannot simply abandon Master Masakatsu.
Faut nous sauver lui aussi.
Exactly. I feel the same way. But given mine and Toma's identities as part of the Yashiro Commission, breaking him out of prison would risk dragging down the reputation of the entire Kamisato clan should we be caught. That would only serve to cast suspicion on any future activity we might seek to attempt.
Oh, vous pouvez décharger sur moi, c'est ça?
By no means do we intend to place the burden of such a task on your shoulders alone. When you are ready, go to Hanamizaka and look for a fireworks shop run by the Naganohara family. There, you will find someone who can help you.
Ok.
You want to know who you'll be meeting in Hanamizaka? Let's just say they'll be easy to find. You'll see what I mean when you get there.
D'accord. Voilà. Tiens, Thomas.
Hey, all finished? I've been keeping watch, and I'm happy to report that everything is fine and dandy.
Là, faut changer. Pas du tout. Ah, je pensais qu'il fallait changer d'île. Ça, c'est le deuxième perso, c'est ça, c'est l'archère. On va bien voir.
Just hand it over.
Je vais encore
You don't
tomber.
want any trouble with me. If you think your elemental powers are enough to resist the Vision Hunt decree, then you'd better think again. Believe me, you're not the first of your kind we've encountered, and we've seen the same unpleasant outcome time after time. You'd best save yourself the trouble.
Can't you make an exception? I just got this vision. I won't even use it, I promise.
So this is the Vision Hunt decree in action, huh? We can't just sit around and watch things unfold, can we?
Allons-y.
Hey, wait! Huh? There's someone trying to get our attention. Come on, this way. What's going on? Can't you see we need to go help?
Shh, quiet. Just sit tight and watch for a moment.
Hey, this isn't right, you know. Just because you don't have a vision doesn't mean you can sit back and watch others in trouble. Huh? Hey, wait! You do have a vision!
Shh. If you don't keep your voice down, I won't have one much longer.
All right. Here, take it.
Wise choice. All right, let's go.
What should we do now? He's already given up his vision. Doesn't he know what could happen to him after losing it? This is your fault. You're the one who stopped us from interfering.
Many thanks, Miss Yoimiya. If you hadn't swapped me a fake just now, I'm sure I would have lost it.
No worries. You put on quite the convincing performance.
Alors le divin qu'ils ont pris était faux.
Oh, so that's what's going on here. And to think Paimon was about to unleash Paimonial wrath on Miss Yoimiya. Sorry about that.
Think nothing of it. I could tell from your reaction we were on the same side. You just didn't know it, you know? Oh, right. Allow me to introduce myself. I'm Yoimiya, the current owner of Naganohara Fireworks. It ain't much, but it's honest work. Great to meet ya.
Practically everyone on Hanamizaka knows Yoimiya. She's the queen of the summer festival. Without her and her fireworks, summer on Narukami Island just wouldn't be the same.
Whoa, that's quite the introduction. Paimon loves fireworks. It's nice to meet you.
Stop it, Hanjiro. You'll embarrass me. As for thanking me, you'd be better off thanking Master Masakatsu. He's the one that gave me the fake visions in the first place. His handiwork allowed me to keep my own vision. Whew, I can't even imagine trying to run the business without it. Ugh.
Yes, Master Masakatsu is a good man. It's too bad good people seldom get the recognition they deserve.
Master Matsukatsu?
Huh? Do you guys know him too?
Mademoiselle Kamisato. Tu as son nom. Pour le sauver.
Don't say. Then it sounds like the Shirasagi Himegimi has a plan. Awesome! I've been thinking about breaking him out too recently. But if I just march straight in there by myself, I'd probably get Miss Kamisato in a whole heap of trouble. So, what about if I join you instead?
Sure, welcome to the team. Ayaka told us to go look for help at a fireworks shop. She must have meant you.
Seems like I finally got a new job to do. Besides hiding vision bearers in my shop, that is. So, Master Masakatsu is being held at the police station. I've already surveyed the area and found a way in.
Whoa, talk about a reliable source. Seems we've got the right person on our team.
Not bad, huh? Let's go as soon as everyone's ready. Don't worry, Master Masakatsu. We're on our way.
Time to break him out.
Alors, et on va finir sur ce cliffhanger magnifique. La libération du petit monsieur. Sur ces montagnes, là où on a commencé. À la prochaine pour la libération.